Hello again, and welcome to this week's installment of Splash Damage, video game news and reviews that hit you and everyone else around. I'm Jeff, and with me always, my co-host Dave.
How's it going, my fellow geeks and gamers? With the recent push to go green here on Ryder Campus, Jeff and I have decided to do our parts too. So, like the changing of the autumn leaves, Splash Damage is going orange. That's right, this week's feature game is none other than Valve's greatest hit showcase, the Orange Box.
Usually, we've got 3 different games in the show, but this week we've been able to take it easy, as the Orange Box is packed with 3 different games of its own. With all the action of Half-Life 2, the pulse-pounding puzzle sensation of Portal, and the multiplayer frag-festing mayhem of Team Fortress 2, players will definitely have their hands full. So without further ado, let's get to it.
Orange Box is split into 3 major games. For those interested in a strict plot-oriented adventure / first-person shooter, then Half-Life 2 and its subsequent episodes are where you want to be. Gordon Freeman is back, reprising his role as a physicist gone freedom fighter in this neo-apocalyptic real-time thriller. Entering into City 17, a dystopian society ruled by a harsh military hand, players are quickly introduced to their new nemesis, Dr. Wallace Breen.
This Sean Connery impersonator plays the typical evil genius role to a T, hiding in his ivory tower, making false threats against your life through a seemingly all-too-well-placed video megaphones. Soon after a breakout from these grim city walls, players meet up with Alex Vance, Freeman's curvaceous female counterpart. Together, these two salvage the outskirts of the ravaged city, searching for opportunities to take down Breen and his regime, as well as find out Alex's father. Episodes 1 and 2 continue the story as well as introduce new aspects to the plotline, including alien invasions, time control, nuclear meltdowns, interdimensional portals, and of course, cake.
Aside from its deep and twisting storylines, the Half-Life franchise has always been noted for its innovative weaponry and the projectile physics that follow. While the selection may appear small at first, consisting only of about 10 different weapons, players soon find out that the world is their oyster of ammunition. Using the ingeniously designed gravity gun, a heavy lifting apparatus pilfered by Gordon earlier in the game, allows any freestanding object to be picked up and used for destruction. Saw blades, 2x4s, oil drums, and even soda cans can effortlessly be catapulted into any enemy.
And for those ragdoll junkies out there, look no further. Half-Life 2's Steam engine creates near-perfect replicas of human characters, rendering minute details from the hair in Freeman's goatee to the wrinkles in Alex's jacket.
But more importantly, the Steam engine renders full fluid collisions between any 2 living objects, keeping their mass proportions constant without changing during impact. Without getting too technical, this means that the bigger the object, the more spastic the reaction. Enemies will fall, fly, and flail in every direction depending on how and where you blast them.
Now let's take it over to our newest correspondent, Max Zubli.
Thanks a lot, Max. Well, if the limb-twisting mayhem of Half-Life 2 isn't really your style, Portal's mind-bending concepts and visuals may be more up your alley. Developed originally by college students using Valve's freely downloadable mod, Valve has fine-tuned the process of interspatial travel into a quirky, darkly humored puzzle adventure game.
Meet Gladys, the coldly upbeat robot host of the Portal testing grounds. Gladys introduces players to a newly improved version of the gravity gun with just one small catch. Instead of picking up and tossing objects in space, this gun has been modified to produce 2 interconnected portals on almost any surface. While this idea may seem hard to grasp verbally, actually being in control of the fabric of time and space has a very easy learning curve. Let's go to the diagram.
And threw every piece into a fire.
Simple idea, endless possibilities.
Portal pits players against old-school button-push puzzles, made much more difficult with the advent of your scene-shifting shooter. After 20 or so levels, players are treated to a final unexpected battle, and only with some clever manipulations of the upgraded gravity gun will you be able to escape with your life. Once the credits start rolling, you'll be treated to a delightfully catchy techno ballad, reminding you of your triumph. They say, to the victor goes the spoils, but in Portal's case, we won't spoil what delicious baked surprises wait for you at the end. Now again, let's go over to our correspondent, Max Zubli. Well, that concludes our Orange Box review. So now it's time for the 3 Bs you can't get anywhere else on TV. Buy it, borrow it, or blow it off. You know, this week seems like an easy call for me. Half-Life 2 brings back my fond memories of playing earlier Valve titles, fusing the classic depth of gameplay with completely revamped visuals. The updated character models and the physics engine add more realism than Rembrandt, and Portal just happens to take the cake. Pun always intended. The 3 Half-Life episodes, combined with Portal's content, take the playtime on this one well over 50 hours to complete. Mix in the different varieties of different gameplay types and bundle them all together for one easy price? It's got my vote. I buy this one.
Having all 3 episodes streamed together is definitely a plus. With game companies nowadays struggling to make extra profit by selling off individual pieces of franchise software, it's comforting to see that Valve still keeps their fans a top priority. And speaking of primary priorities, I found my one and only love, the grav gun. This weapon provides an entire artillery in one single gun. I'm all for petitioning gravity-based weaponry in future FPSs. In my opinion though, the shining star of Orange Box by far is Portal. This cutting-edge innovation of the Portal system is unprecedented. The style, unimaginable. The logic, unfathomable. The humor is quietly subtle, but you'll find yourself literally laughing out loud after hearing some of Gladys's mechanical quips. The intricate end to this adventure is well worth the wait, and you'll find yourself humming Still Alive long after it's done. Word to the wise though, too much Portal tripping will leave you more spun out than Helen Keller on a merry-go-round. Port safely, definite buy.
Well, looks like our time is up. It's been fun, so be sure to tune in next week for our segment. As always, I'm Dave.
And I'm Geoff.
Here on Splash Damage.